Hey guys, you're not gonna believe this. I kind of had like a epiphany type of moment, you know, and this is obviously kind of late, and a lot of times I'm brainstorming like in different type of situations, especially what's been recently going on with my Mazda RX-8. I'll tell you this, I haven't changed a single thing on my Mazda RX-8, okay? And I just came out to it at night and it started right up. I'm almost surprised that it did. At the same time, I really don't know how long it's gonna work, but while it's working, I want to actually tell you kind of like what I think has happened. I started looking over my videos, and I actually did not take pictures of this, but I had codes, and I had like 4 codes, and one of the codes was crankshaft position sensor related. So as you guys will know, or maybe not know, whenever there's a crankshaft position code active, it will actually run rough a little bit because of what the crankshaft position sensor does. I guess it does not know the position of your crankshaft, and it actually will cause your car, any car, not just Mazda RX-8 cars, it will cause it not to start up on hot. So you're gonna try to crank it over on hot, and it's actually not going to start. So that made me think, will it start up on cold? Right now it's slightly cool outside because it's nighttime. I mean, it's like 1 o'clock at night. So I came out here and thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna crank this thing over and see if it's gonna start. Now, I don't know if this car will quit on me. I really don't know, because I've been having some bad luck these couple days, and today I did not even come out and start this thing because I was so busy doing other things I really wanted to do. But I started thinking, what if this is a crankshaft position sensor related code? I started actually noticing a weird type of idle where it kind of like, I could notice just my RPM gauge would just slightly jump a little bit here and there, and it would work just slightly off tune. Like, I noticed these things about cars, especially if I own them for a while. And I'm like, you know, I don't know what's really causing it, because I know at the same time I put a mid pipe, and obviously no, well, my O2 sensor went in, but obviously it's not going to work properly because technically my check engine light is on due to the O2 sensor. So there's that problem. Well, actually, what the heck? Let me see. Why is my steering? Oh, never mind. I'm thinking, why is my steering wheel so easy to turn? Because my steering wheel, like, still light is on, and it's electronic steering. It's really easy to turn. But one wheel is lifted up, and it's actually removed because I've been messing with the spark plugs. Because I want to make a video replacing spark plugs and stuff for the channel. But guys, let me tell you this, and I wish I could just be really, you know, facing you guys and just, you know, but right now it's dark. You're not gonna really see me anyways, but I like to kind of talk face to face when talking about these things. Yesterday, no, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I've done some stupid stuff, you know, when it comes to cars. And you know, being a car guy, some of the stuff is like really noobish, but you gotta understand kind of like where I'm coming from when I do stupid stuff like this. Is I like to experiment. I'm kind of like, you know, this is kind of like science. I really don't care if I end up breaking something, as long as it's a learning experience and I could share that experience with somebody else and learn from that experience. So I've really done some stupid things, and I know better. So here's what I done, which was kind of stupid, right? So when I got the car started finally, all right, it got started, and I realized that the car was still kind of like uncool, and I was trying to like rev it right around like 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs just to kind of like warm it up a little bit. And I've noticed it just warmed up ever so slightly, just a little bit. So then I started actually trying to let off the gas, letting it go kind of like this, like, you know, to 1,000, because I'm not really holding the gas right now. And I noticed the car wanted to shut off on me. And because it wanted to shut off on me, I'm like, you know what? I don't know why it's doing that. Like, it's trying to shut off on me for no reason. So I'm just going to try to idle the hell out of it. Like, I'm just gonna like just take it to 7,000 RPMs. So I started taking it to 7 and 7.5, 7 and 7,500 RPMs. When I did that, I noticed there was some pops. You know, like my exhaust started popping, and I know I'm throwing some fireballs. You know, so At that point, my kid comes out and he's like, "Oh, Dad, you know, you're getting some fireballs and stuff, you know." And I'm kind of thinking, cool. I gave him my my phone. I said, you know, make a video of it. So I started like really revving hard, like I mean like 8,000 RPMs, whatever this car would let me, just like really revving it. And every time it's like between 7 and 8, 7 and 8, and just it's just pop, 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 just creating those you know, like pops. And I basically had a real nice fireworks display, you know, for my kids and stuff. Even my wife's seen it. I had my kid try to record this, but you know, he's a 9-year-old, so he was recording, and he actually, you know, I already started the video for him, but he must have hit it with his finger or something. He did not record a single thing. So here I was thinking he's recording, and I'm just like really trying to pop this thing, you know, just keep popping and popping and popping until I don't know how many minutes in, maybe like about a minute in, I was like really revving the hell out of it, you know. I noticed that, boom, like my RPM gauge just dropped to 3,000 and like below. I'm like, what the heck just happened? Like I cannot rev it above 3,000. It was literally going to 3,000. And, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'm going to interrupt myself. See what it's doing? My car used to do that. You see how it's going right at 1, slightly below. And look at where the temperature gauge right now is. It's slightly like at half. I believe the crankshaft position sensor, when it's warm like that, it starts malfunctioning at that point. It starts really acting kind of weird. It just goes slightly below 1, then kind of like in the middle of, and right now it's trying to quit on me. You see that? Well, it's warmed up. I'm not revving the gas just yet. It's all doing that by itself right now. It just slightly went above 1, as it almost tried to die on me. And by the way, guys, I'm sorry I didn't get this on video because I was on a phone call and I was just telling my friend I'm getting ready to see if I could start it at night. And I started it up. To my surprise, it just started, you know, so I didn't get a chance to really record. It actually started up. But guys, it fired right up, just like normal. Like I never even had a problem. It just fired right up, which was really nice. And right now, I still haven't hit the gas, obviously. But anyways, I was just about to hit the gas because I don't want it to really quit on me. I wanted to... see, I got the premix in there now. I got the fuel injector cleaner now. Like, I really want this car to just work. Not die on me, and just get all the stuff through its system. But based on the fuel gauge, while I was trying to start it and maybe doing some pops and stuff, I'm already using the premix type of you know, fuel, because I burned off almost another quarter of fuel. But anyways, guys, I want to get back to the RPMs dropping to 3,000. Well, not letting me go above 3,000, and really dropping all the way like to 1. So it was going like 1 and 3, 1 and 3. So at first, I thought, what the heck did just happen? Did I blow my engine? Because here I was making popping sounds, you know, with fireballs, you know, with 7,500, 8,000 RPMs. And now it will not actually go above 3. It really was kind of scary when it did that. And I kind of thought, okay, that was stupid. I think I just went ahead and just whatever was left. Oops. I just tried to. I didn't want this thing to cut off. By the way, I just ordered myself a crankshaft position sensor. I just ordered one. But anyways. So I thought, man, I was so stupid. You know, my apex seals was probably already on their way out, and here I was. I just, you know, made, you know, go from bad to worse. Probably ruined something else. I went as far as thinking that I think I've blown a head gasket on it. I kind of thought. But here's what I realized, guys. When my RPM gauge went from 3,000 to, from 7,000 all the way to 3, and between 1 and 3, I noticed if I hold my foot down, the car was just doing this. It's on video, so you can actually watch that video. And so it was going like from 1 to 3, from 1 to 3, just by itself. I'm just holding the foot down as it's doing it. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why is it doing that? And then I realized that my gauge, my heat gauge, is showing almost 3/4. So I realized that this must be like a safety protocol to where it puts the engine into limp mode. because I kind of slightly overheated it. But at this point, I still was not realizing this until next time I did the same thing, because I was afraid to cut the engine off when I was doing this, like, you know, that type of thing, between 3 and 1,000 RPMs. And I just kept my foot down because I kind of thought, well, I'm already screwed anyways. My engine's probably already blown, and, you know, I'm going to have to rebuild it anyways. So I want to see how long I could actually get it to work. So then I'm holding it down, and boom, it regained power again. Like, it just, now it goes back to 7 and, you know, 1,000 RPM. So I'm like, okay. So I kind of thought, okay, for the last hurrah, by the way, it's doing it by itself right now. For the last hurrah, I'm just gonna grand finale this thing. I mean, if it's gonna die with fireworks. So I gave my son the camera again. I said, listen, this time just make sure you record everything. So he started recording the back of my tailpipe. So I was just gonna blow some fireballs again. And now it's no longer doing any popping sounds. It's no longer blowing any fireballs. And as a matter of fact, it sounded kind of like, almost like the engine, it sounded like easier. Like, I don't know like how to explain, like somehow it was working with less effort, but at the same time I was not blowing any fireballs, if that makes any sense. So I didn't know what was all that about. And then my car just, again, it went back to that like 1.5 to 3,000 RPMs again, in that type of mode. And that's when I looked at my gauge and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm overheating this thing. So then at that point, I shut the engine off, and with the hot engine, which is another no-no, you're not supposed to put any cold water. I mean, it was not cold; it was probably like room temperature. I got some water out of the garden hose in the daytime. It was not like cold water, but my engine got so hot, guys. I tried to take the radiator cap off, and of course I put like I didn't have any gloves on, so I took like my like coat sleeve, and I just put it over my hand, and I opened up my radiator cap, and I quickly removed my hand so not to get burnt. And the water just spewed out, like it was just spewing out like crazy. It just bursting out of the radiator and stuff. And I kind of thought, oh no, like at that point I thought the worst. I thought, oh man, like my head gasket is blown. It is now, that's why it's shooting out the water like it is, because it appeared, because it's nighttime, just like now, it appeared to me that the water was coming out with such effort, like it was gases going into the radiator. And I was kind of hoping that I could test this in the daytime, like it would have been today, but I didn't really get a chance to, and just see if I could get it started up again, and open up the radiator cap and see if any gases is going to be flowing out of the radiator cap, which would kind of like indicate to me that it's a head gasket failure as well. But man, guys, this was definitely some trying times for me this past 3 days. I know I already put out some videos that you probably seen, maybe you haven't seen, maybe check them out. They're kind of long, but they're pretty informative, because maybe at the very least you will kind of see if your car is doing the same thing, and maybe some of the things you could do to actually get it started, because I got some tips in there to get the car started if it's not starting, and that is actually pretty simple. That's actually just by adding some oil into each spark plug hole, which is really easy to do, and I'm gonna actually show in the video how to do that, because I want to make sure I have a really clear video of how that's done, how to perform that. But now, when I thought it's worst of all situations, all right, I'm already looking at a rebuild kit online. I'm just comparing prices and stuff. I'm looking at all these kits. There's not that many, by the way. There's one website that I found. I'm probably gonna link it up in this video if you guys need it, but it's cheaper prices than eBay, which I was surprised. So they got some kits over there for Mazda RX-8s. I don't know if that's the only place where you could get them, at that price, but I kind of thought, I'm gonna be rebuilding this engine on my channel. I didn't really think I'm gonna start it up again. I know that I could get it started, by putting the oil method, just temporarily sealing up the apex seals and just letting it fire up. Which I actually did do day before yesterday, right after I started having all this overheating issues. I let the engine cool down a little bit, and then I put like some oil into the spark plug holes, all 4 of them, and it fired right up. And then I shut the car down, because I kind of figured, I'll just do the same thing and test it in the daytime. But right now I did not add any oil, and it started up, which leads me to believe that I think part of my issues is crankshaft position sensor. So I know it's a 15-minute video and I said crankshaft position sensor many times, but guys, it's 13 bucks. I just ordered off eBay, and dude, like, if this solves my starting issues, I mean, I would be ecstatic. I mean, at this point I thought I have to do an engine rebuild. I wasn't ready to build one, to rebuild an engine, because I just got, like, I just took care of some issues that I had, like with solenoids. I replaced all 3, and I made some videos of, for my channel. I'm just kind of getting the car into kind of like working order, just getting some of those things done. And then all of a sudden I'm getting this expense that I wasn't looking to do just yet. I wanted to do it, but not just yet, to where I could actually just go ahead and actually do an engine rebuild. So that being said, I really don't know where we at, guys. Like, I mean, like, what do you think? I mean, like, look, my car just started right now. Could this whole thing be just a crankshaft position sensor? I really don't think I overheated the car. I mean, if I did, I mean, wouldn't the car be overheating right now? I mean, look at the temperature gauge, it's slightly below half. I mean, that looks good. The only thing that I'm noticing, which I was noticing before, is my RPM gauge is slightly, it goes less than 1,000, slightly above 1,000. It is not consistent. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Just like, let's kind of think on this a little bit, because man, look at the situation, guys. Like, I thought it was worse and worse. Okay, like, I mean, I literally thought rebuild, and then right now it just started right up. I mean, how many of you guys out there that's thinking the same thing? Your car just is no longer starting anymore. Like, you're cranking away, and look how long my videos are. I'm like literally over there cranking away. I mean, how many of you guys gave up like 5 minutes into it? And I know, like, the way I'm cranking in some of those videos, like you're gonna kill the starter. But guys, what's more expensive, starter or the engine? This starter is really easy to get to. I'm okay with killing the starter. I'm really okay with it. Like, I just don't care. As long as I could get the car started, I don't care about killing the battery, starter. I mean, shoot, I don't even care if I kill the engine. But like they said, I'm gonna die trying. Like, some of these things is just like, it could be really challenging. If it doesn't start up, then you're trying to go till the last resort. I mean, if your car has bad apex seals or bad compression, or you think it has bad compression or apex seals, then, I mean, are you really worried if you did not heat up your car properly, and now you're like revving it to 7,000 RPMs? If you're looking at a rebuild anyways, I mean, when you open it up, you're gonna probably find some problems. You're probably gonna be throwing out some of those components anyways, and replacing, maybe rotors, or maybe you're gonna replace those housings or whatever. I don't know, but at that point, like, I'm thinking, look, maybe just have fun with it. But I'm thinking that I kind of had all the fun with it, and then now like it's running again. I mean, I don't know if it's drivable right now. I literally don't have like no wheel installed right now, but it's kind of weird that it's on right now. It's kind of weird, because I did pre-mix this time, but last time I came in the morning and I tried to start it, it would not fire it up. Okay, so that's a little bit confusing again, because crankshaft position sensor should start up on cold, not so much on hot. But I'm thinking, could it be that the weather is somehow impacting it? Like, that was slightly like in the daytime where it was maybe slightly warmer, but still it's a first startup. But right now it's nighttime, it's slightly cooler outside. Could it be that this slight variance in temperature is affecting the vehicle's startability? I mean, it could happen. One thing's for sure, guys, on my channel, that's what I'm going to be doing. Is I will be making videos documenting all this stuff, you know, because a lot of you guys out there, you're just like me. Maybe you just bought this car and you're wondering yourself if you're looking at a rebuild or whatever, and by seeing kind of like what I'm going through, perhaps this can help guide you of what to do or not to do, or provide you some information. And that's kind of like what I'm about. Is I'm all about sharing information. And guys, I like this car. I really enjoy having this car. I want to learn more about this car. I just want to be able to just have a little fun with it, you know. I would like to get it to its tip-top performance. I mean, I have so much things planned for this car, but I know such a thing as a crankshaft position sensor, not only that it will create a problem with the starting issues, it creates a problem with the idling issues, and it also creates a problem with the transmission issues, which you probably are not familiar with, but I already faced these issues before. It will literally make your transmission shift really weird, which I have been noticing with this car, especially when I'm trying to use my pedal shifters. Like, it does not want to shift at 7,500 RPMs. At 7,000 RPMs, fine, and I know it doesn't sound like a big problem, but it's already like a little bit concerning. And also, I noticed several times it was harder shifts than others on the automatic. I used to have a Ford vehicle, which was a diesel. That crankshaft position sensor did some funky stuff, you know, like it literally took my gas, my miles per hour, you know, like needle, and it was showing like I'm literally like driving like maybe like 25 miles an hour, like on regular like neighborhood streets, and all of a sudden it shows that I'm driving 80 miles an hour, back to 50, back to 25, like all over the place. And guess what my transmission was doing? Trying to keep up. It was shifting so hard, like I'm talking about like bangs, like in the transmission. And I thought at that time, like, whoa, what's wrong with my transmission? And it was a $35 crankshaft position sensor. As soon as I replaced it, my starting issues went away, my transmission hard shifts went away, the crazy idle, you know, type of a thing just went away. You know, a lot of times when we're dealing with like older vehicles, guys, some of these sensors, they already done failed, and we're expecting them to last, but you know, this stuff just doesn't last. I mean, they're made to degrade and made to fail. So, you know, now that we're the owners of vehicles, that's like, I mean, this is above 10 years. Like, I mean, this is literally 2004, like 50-year-old car. I mean, like, what can they expect? Sure, it's a modern piece of technology that we have, but a lot of pipes degrade, plastics degrade. I mean, they're literally made to degrade so that landfills are not going to be like, you know, stuffed up and everything. But anyways, guys, I've really enjoyed having this conversation with you all about this type of situation. I'm a little bit stoked that this car is now running. Certainly did not expect it, but I was hoping that because I've seen a crankshaft position code that this would be an issue. And turns out my theories were correct. It did start up on cold. That being said, I want to just let it run. Just let it run as much as I can, like at least, I don't know, like an hour. And then I want to find out if it overheats. Like, I'm literally going to check right now the radiator and then record a video like later on to let you guys know if it is overheating or like a head gasket, you know, failure or anything like that. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I mean, this is going to be just a fun channel for me as I'm owning these cars that I always wish to own, and now I get to basically drive them and obviously fix them, because I don't mind wrenching on my own cars. I really don't, and I don't mind helping people. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for everything. Take care of yourself, and good luck with your Mazda RX-8. Feel free to ask any questions or comments below. I read all the questions and comments that I get. I try to get to them as soon as I can, but if you see some comments that you can answer, just you know, feel free to answer them for other people, because this is what it's about. It's about just helping each other out, like, to really learn. And I know the forums, they're really helpful. I've been reading the forums too, but there's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to forums, which I'd like to point out, like, and I'm just going to mention this just one thing, and there's more than one thing that I see is wrong. For instance, a lot of people don't know that there's a secondary fuel filter on this car. They only think that there's a non-serviceable fuel filter inside of the fuel tank, which is the information that the dealer provides. Yet on their website they sell a fuel filter which is secondary, and people on forums are confused. Same thing, people are confused about what kind of oil to use. People are confused how much oil to use, what kind of spark plugs to use, what kind of ignition coils, ignition wires. And you know, I want to be able to help as much as I can when it comes with that, and help as much as I can when it comes to like solenoids and doing the vacuum hose and stuff like that, because some of these cars is similar from car to car, and this knowledge, you know, gets passed down, you know, from learning experiences on other sports cars, which I do have, and my brother has even more of. So, you know, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I mean, this has been really amazing that I have so many subscribers in like just the span of 2 months of starting the channel. It's really amazing. It's over 100 now, so it's really awesome. So thank you guys for that. Good luck with your Mazda RX-8s, and stay tuned for more videos. All right, bye-bye.